We're back for week 2 of our Words with Walter with none other than NFL Hall of Famer Walter Jones. Walter, we mentioned in our previous episode about the dog days of summer. Week 0 is in the books. As we head into week 1, a lot of athletes having to kind of deal with the nicks and bumps and bruises. Many fans may think, or those that are around the football program may think, hey, give it a couple of games and then nicks and bruises start. They actually start happening in fall camp and in the summer. Walk us through just your experiences and some of the things that you maybe wish that you would have done, but more importantly, moving forward, want to kind of try to let our young student athletes understand about injury awareness and being able to take care of their bodies.
One thing I would say, I think a lot of injuries come from being in shape and being conditioned, ready for the season. Like I say, now these kids are practicing year round. So these kids are when fall camp starts, these kids are ready. But still, again, you're going to get the bruises, you're going to get the bangs and stuff. And I tell you, one thing I wish I would have had when I was playing was, you just practice and you go home. Now these kids got, you go to most of these high schools, some of these high school gyms and their weight rooms are nicer than what I grew up to, or even when I went to FSU at the time or NFL. So I would say the hot and cold tub, I think those are some of the best things that you can have. And I have taught young kids like that, schools that don't have that, to do it at home. I tell the parents, buy bags of ice, put them in the tub, and I tell you that's going to definitely help, because they're going to come home saying they sore, they don't want to do their chores at home, they don't want to do their schoolwork. So those are the things I would tell the young kids, is always remember to take that ice bath, even at some of these bigger high schools where they tell the kid to do it and some kids choose not to. So I would tell all the young kids, take advantage of the cold tub, because those are the things, and treatment too. You listen to your trainers on things you need to do to help yourself every week. So I always try to tell those kids that the ice tub can be your friend.
It is amazing relative to when you were playing. As I was growing up, watching friends of mine play football, and kind of almost like the evolution of coaches and training staffs. And it's one big moniker that I've always heard, Walter, is now, especially over the last 20 years, see something, say something. And I cannot tell you how many coaches, athletic trainers, and people around for the wellness of the young people on the football field that are very, very aware and cognizant of trying to make sure that student athletes, whether it's a potential head injury, heat timeouts that we have in the first couple of weeks of the year, but so many things are in place for those, whether it's a fellow teammate or a trainer, to be able to call something out if they feel like one of these student athletes, something is wrong with them.
Oh, definitely. And I told, like you say, when we was our ages, when we played, it was like you smelling salt, you go stand it off, shake it off. But now you can't do that. And I think a lot of that is, I tell younger kids, if something is wrong, you're feeling something in your head, say something to your parents. You don't want that story to go out there. So, and I teach the parents too, to tell them that even though you trust the school that they're going to put your kids in the right equipment, I always tell parents to check their equipment when you get home. Now you got YouTube, so you can find out how the helmet's supposed to fit, where they supposed to lay the shoulder pad. So there's so much stuff now that the parents, when we was growing up, the parents was like, that's what you want to play, you got to figure it out on your own. But now I would just tell kids and parents to make sure that they understand everything that the kid is wearing and what it does and how it protects those kids. And I think that's going to make everybody better. That's going to help the coaches too, because the coach got so much going on. So if the parents are watching, if the parents see something on the field, or if the kid get hit, like you say, they have so many doctors and stuff on the field to make sure these kids are safe and that they can go out there on the football field and play.
I want to leave us with this, because we know we see so many of these young, amazing athletes on the football field. Jerseys attempting to be rolled up, 707s. I see the guys, they want to show their abs, they got their sleeves cut off. How important is it, even in the grand scheme of course, feeling good, looking good, want to play good, but to be safe and make sure your equipment, as you just mentioned, properly intact and in place, so that we don't have any unfortunate situations on the football field?
Exactly. I think it's one of those things. I think in the younger years you have to teach that. You have to be very on top of that. When my son was playing, I thought it was, they had the butt pad, the knee pads, everything. You couldn't roll your jersey up, and a lot of that just comes, as you learn the game and figure out what your position is. Some position don't need as much as this position need, but I think once you get to that level, you understand it. But I think in high school or junior high. I think you should make kids wear every pad that's available for them to protect, just to protect the kid, because you don't want a kid to be feared not to get hit. You know, I've met younger kids that they want to play the game, but they're afraid to get hit. So I feel like if you got their pads on right, and a lot of time that's just because their pads are not, because most of the time when you put those pads on, you feel like you have an armor on. So you want those kids to feel that when they're out there on the football field.
Walter Jones here for another edition of Words with Walter. As we mentioned, we'll be here throughout the entirety of the high school football regular season. We'll be back here for another week coming up next Wednesday.